Hi and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our webinar on how to boost visitor experience with the effective communication of live resort data. Before we get started, I'd like to take just a moment to do a little housekeeping. If you could all just look at your screens for a moment. If you have any questions during the webinar, you can write them down at any time by going onto the top right-hand corner of the screen. I'll be answering as many questions as possible at the end of the webinar during our live Q&A session. Okay, I'd like to kick off today's webinar by taking a quick look at SPOTLIO as a company and the services and solutions that we provide for mountain resorts. Then we'll dive straight into today's topic, which looks at how to boost visitor experience with the effective communication of live resort data. As you'll discover later, processing your live resort data through a data communication platform means much more than just a digital version of your printed reports. It would make your whole destination feel much more digitally interactive for your guests, for your resort partners, and even for your staff. But before I get into that, let's take a quick look at who SPOTLIO is. SPOTLIO is a leading provider of digital platforms for mountain resorts with headquarters in St. Moritz. We also provide mobile apps and solutions for cities and event organizers, amongst other things. We were founded back in 2012, and today we operate mainly out of Barcelona. We have more than 80 customer projects in 9 different countries, from Austria to Australia, with most of our partners being located in North America. Each of these projects are always fully customized to the individual needs of the customer with the aim of making their brand shine and to grow their sales. We had more than 1 million monthly active users last season, and we help our partners generate more than $150 million of revenue through our platforms. We work with some of the biggest names in mountain tourism. We work with Steamboat, Whistler Blackcomb, Pale, Aspen Snowmass, St. Moritz, Copper Mountain, and many others. If any of you guys are in the audience today, thanks for joining us. So, what are the founding principles of SPOTLIO? Since the beginning, SPOTLIO has been looking for ways to help our partners be always more present along the whole customer journey. That's why we built our 360-degree e-tourism solution. We are always looking to develop new services and features that help you guys connect with your potential audiences so that you can influence their purchasing decisions and improve their overall customer experience. Obviously, with the main goal of making you guys grow your sales. So, how do we actually do that? Today, we have 4 main solutions. First, our sales boosting direct booking platform. Second, our loyalty increasing mobile destination apps. Third, our impressive interactive digital maps. And fourth, and finally, our cost-saving data communication platform. All of this digital platform has been developed with the aim of getting destinations, resorts, and lift operations closer to the customers at each stage along the customer journey. First, we start with our direct booking platform. Our direct booking platform was developed back in 2014 after working in conjunction with some of you guys. Since then, we have continued to make improvements, adding new features, always reducing any friction points, and making changes to optimize conversion rates. We all know the dominance that OTAs enjoy today. They are always acting as an intermediate between you and your customers. But many resorts are fighting back, and we help them fight back. And they start to win with more direct booking customers as they put more emphasis on improving their online booking experience. The performance of your online direct booking is so important when you really want to take back control from OTAs and build this direct bond with your customers. They are your customers, the OTAs are intermediate. With our platform, you can be confident that we are always updating. We are always improving the direct booking experience to reflect the changes in customer behavior and the booking habits. Second, next, we have our mobile destination apps. These apps turn your guest mobile phones into Swiss knives capable of doing all kinds of crazy things. Guests can use them to book lessons, check which slopes are grown, reserve a table, which lifts are open, and what the weather's like. They can even use them to track their ski runs and wait at the end of the day to compare their performance with other guests on the digital leaderboard that you guys can plug in any of your channels. You can put it in the mobile app, you can put it as well in the digital signage of your restaurant. They are also a powerful tool in the fight to keep your guests safe and build their confidence in the face of the current pandemic. But they are not only great, they are not only a great way to improve the customer experience. The whole destination ecosystems can take a big step forward through digitization. You can activate your partners. If you want to know more about this, take a look at the webinar entitled Ensuring Customer Safety in a Pandemic World Through Mobile Destination Apps. This webinar can be found in the Academy section of our website in SPOTLIO.com/academy. Third, we got our interactive digital maps. These are amazing, immersive digital versions of your resorts, and they come in an extremely high definition. 1 pixel can get to the details of 10 centimeters. The resolution is staggering. In fact, on our 3D version, it's so detailed, you even see the moguls on your slopes. It's amazing. But there's so much more than just maps. They can also be used to create a digital version of your resort that empowers your guests. It allows them to interact with your destination directly from their mobile devices. They can even reserve a table from the map. This is key to improve the overall customer experience. If you want to learn more about what our maps can do for your audiences, watch our webinar entitled Empowering Guests with Digital Interactive Maps, again in SPOTLIO.com/academy. Finally, is the newcomer to our product range. And the subject of today's webinar is our cost-saving data communication platform. This began as well as a customer-requested project. We were working with you guys to develop a solution capable of managing all resort data in one single place and keeping all the communications channels updated with the very latest information. We developed this platform successfully according to the needs of our first customers, and it's now a mature, powerful solution that saves man hours and keeps your guests better informed. Also, thanks to its flexibility, it's capable of handling much more. All types of data that you want, from parking availability, parking capacity, grooming reports, restaurant capacity. But before we look at the solution in more detail, I want to just take a moment to look at why resort data is so important to your customers, and even now, even more especially in today's pandemic world. In our last webinar, we spoke about the way in which the digital world enhanced the physical world, making it more accessible and more interactive to all you guys. This can be seen not only in tourism, but in all areas of society. People have embraced the digital world and expect to be able to interact with the physical world around them via their mobile devices, anywhere and anytime. Take a simple example of a family who live close to the ski resort, are driving skiers, and are planning to go skiing that day. They start off by opening the destination app and looking at the resort status. What are the weather and slope conditions like today? Will it be overcrowded? Will they be able to find parking? Is the lift to their favorite slope open? The answers to all these questions will help them plan their day and manage their expectations. If the information is not available, or if it's out of date at 7 o'clock in the morning, then their experience throughout the day will be negatively affected. Or even they can decide not to go at all because they don't have enough information, they don't decide to go to your place, and that's critical. Customers expect this information to be available. The use of digital communication channels to empower guests is one of the strongest trends in tourism today. If we look at what information resorts offers today compared to 10 years ago, the transformation has been amazing. And this trend is set to continue, just not now, but for all the foreseeable future, which means more live data communicating through more digital channels to always empower your audiences. And this is where our data communication platform comes into its own. It's a game changer for resort operators. Lift companies and destination management organizations as well, they can benefit, and they can start to empower their guests and attract new visitors by communicating information more consistently and in real time. So how exactly does our data communication platform help resorts manage their data and communication channels? When we started this project, we identified 3 key areas. First, the data input options. Second, the data hub where the data is stored and customized. And third, finally, the multiple communication channels where data is made accessible to different audiences. So the process starts with the data being received into the data communication platform. As you can imagine, this is a really critical step, because if the data being entered is incorrect or out of date, then it affects the whole thing. Also, as data is often gathered and entered by humans, it has a labor cost associated to that. So streamlining this process can have a huge effect on your ability to keep your guests, resort partners, and staff up to date with the very latest resort information and reduce cost. So how does our solution do this? Firstly, it allows your team to enter data from just one easy-to-use console. This is important because rather than different data being entered on different unconnected systems, now all the resort data can be entered just to one flexible entry point. Besides manual data input, this flexible data entry point can also connect internal and external automatic data feeds. This eliminates the need for data to be entered more than once, as you can integrate all the data in just one single place. You don't need to communicate each data individually. Also, as our console is mobile friendly, data can be entered via mobile devices, tablets, desktops, wherever you are, whenever you want. So for example, there's no need for ski patrol personnel to travel with paper notes whilst they are on the mountains and then enter data on their desktops when they get back to their office. Now, data can be entered directly onto the system from anywhere and anytime via their mobile phones. So the ski patrol can do it directly from the mountain. Another important feature of the data communication platform is the ability to manage the different roles. You can put different roles, different access levels required by different members of the staff. With disconnected systems and uncontrolled access, it's impossible to guarantee the integrity of data. But by entering all resort data in just one single console via the ability to control different access levels and offer simplified menu options to each staff member, you reduce the risk of inaccurate data and data corruption. And we all want that. Our solution also has the ability to connect live data feeds. This can be weather or snow sensors, or you name it. Mobile app data or third-party feeds, such as weather data, for example, from NOAA or from the Norwegian system. Our platform is highly flexible, and our list of third-party integrations is growing every season. And on top of that, if you have any data feeds that are not already supported by one of our out-of-the-box adapters, then we can always offer a customized integration. We work with you, we understand the problem, and we integrate more data. So what's the result of all these features? The data communication platform receives more accurate data with less man hours, which of course means more reliable resort information to all your audiences. Now, let's look at phase 2 of the process. Now we have all the data entered in our system. So we need to store this data. So now we are in the data storage and customization. Once the data is being entered, either manually or automatically, it is then integrated, harmonized, and stored in the data hub. We use Amazon Web Services to make sure the data is completely secure And with locations in Europe and North America, you can be sure that your data is secure and stored close by. Then, once it arrives in the data hub, it can either be sent directly to the required communication channel, or it can be curated and customized by authorized personnel. It's at this stage that the data can be enhanced to give a more accurate and granular picture of your resort. Let's take an example. If the regional snow report says that an average of 40 inches of snow fell overnight, but according to your own measurements, your team was measuring this, it was actually 6 inches in your resort. Then you have the option of overriding the data manually and enhancing the information provider. Here again, it's really important to be in full control of who has the authority to override and customize the data. That's why the ability to control access levels and manage roles across your organization is such a powerful feature. Next, we have the data communication. Now we have all the data in the system curated, harmonized in just one single place. This phase as well, we call it channel management. This is where things get really interesting. With all your data stored, customized, and harmonized in the data hub, you are able to send it to any digital communication channel. For example, grooming reports can be sent to automatically update websites, or digital signage, or mobile destination apps, or even digital maps. You can even produce internal PDF reports with a click. Data can be sent to third-party communication channels such as local radios, outlets, or partnering hotels and activities providers who want to inform their guests on snow conditions at your resort. The options are limitless. We have an integration, for example, with the Snow Country that enables all the data that is already consolidated in the data hub automatically being connected through APIs with the Snow Country. The data can be communicated to multiple channels, keeping multiple audience informed and up to date with the very latest resort information. And with our scheduling feature, you can set the time at which you want the specific communication channels to be updated with the specific data. For example, if you normally communicate the following day's skiing information at 5 p.m., then rather to make your pool personnel wait until the time comes in order to send it manually, this can be set up beforehand via our scheduling feature, making the whole procedure more efficient and saving time of your team and normally saving money to you guys. This ability to manage all of your channels from one easy-to-use platform makes this a powerful time-saving tool and will help take the digital version of your resort to the next level. And what is the aim of all this? As usual, we are focusing on customer experience, so to improve the customer experience. Empower customers who are able to plan their activities and organize their days will have a better experience at your resorts. In everything SPOTLIO does, the customer is always the focus. And this tool will help you give customers all the information they want on all the channels they enjoy using. Now, I want to take a look at how this works in practice. After the theoretical part of what is this solution about and how it can affect the day-to-day experience of resort personnel and customers with 3 use cases. 2, it's gonna be focuses in resort staff, how we can help your staff, and 1 is gonna be focusing in how we can improve the customer experience. In the first use case, we're gonna be focusing in a ski patrol team who is out on the slopes. It's about 5 p.m. and he's checking the slopes, whether they are empty and is trying to close in the ski lifts. He's also checking the condition of the slopes. Normally, he will be taking notes and then once back in the office, entering this data into the system. But with our mobile-friendly console, he and the rest of his team are able to enter the data directly from their mobile devices, allowing the marketing team, operational teams, or other stakeholders to get an immediate update. Still when they are still on the slopes. So if they require further information, they still can do that. So a truly live data transfer from the slopes brings the whole team into the loop immediately, resulting in less errors and a more dynamic process. In the second use case, we have a member of the marketing team who is looking at the weather data being received from NOAA. Unfortunately, today, he receives the data that is not accurate, and that more snow fell during the night than it is really reported by NOAA. So as he is an authorized personnel, he is able to customize the data to give a customer a more accurate picture of the snow conditions at the resort. This ability to curate and customize the data before it is published in websites, apps, digital signage, any kind of outlets, make the resort's own communication channels stand out from the general weather channels and attract more visitors. If you are taking care of your own data, you create the data, and your data has a higher quality and is more specific, people are going to go to your system, to your channels, in order to be sure that the data is current. And then little by little will not go to third-party systems, third-party channels to interact with the data. Finally, the third use case focus on the customer experience. In that case, we focus in the planning and preparation phase of the customer journey. Here, we have a family at home who are trying to decide whether and where to go skiing in the morning at the local resort. So they open the resort website and the mobile app. They start to check which lifts will be open, which slopes are groomed, and how much new snow is on the mountains. With all up-to-date information they need, they are able to plan their day skiing, confident in the knowledge that their expectations will be met. This information is key to a positive customer experience, not only during the planning and preparation phase, but also afterwards during the experience, because they will continue to trust the channel that the information will always going to be accurate and that you're going to have the right information to decide. Sorry. Until now, we've been looking at how our solutions can help one resort. And at one resort, a ski area, or a destination, but it's always just one company. But thanks to the flexibility of our data communication platform, it is not limited to managing single resorts. It's also perfect for multi-resorts management companies or destinations with multiple resorts. You can manage roles and access levels of multiple teams across multiple destinations. You can also manage different data inputs and communication channels across several resorts. It really is a powerful single console solution for multi-resort management. So if you have 10 resorts to manage from one single console, the benefits are amazing. It is also capable of easily managing multiple seasons. So we are not just focusing in winter. The business in summer is growing, and this summer is a good example. With a simple click, you can switch skiing and snowboarding winter trails into biking and hiking summer trails with its associated data. It can handle all type of data, and so you can easily flip from summer to winter by simply configuring the different data feeds arriving to your system and the data communication platform according to the season. Finally, let's recap. Some of the main benefits of using our state-of-the-art data communication platform. First, this is above all a flexible solution. Data can be entered manually on mobile devices, tablets, and desktops, or automatically by linking to automatic data feeds. All types of data can be entered and integrated, from weather reports to parking availability to parking capacity, restaurants availability, you name it, allowing you guys to give your customers a fuller picture of your resort. And this data can then be communicated to all your communication channels and to all your audiences, not only within your resort, but across multiple resorts and beyond. From the initial idea phase all the way through development, we focus on flexibility and built it into every feature set. We also understand the importance of data security and made sure that every base was covered. Through the intuitive admin section, you can manage access levels and roles across your organization, giving you full control over your data and the personnel who can enter, access, and curate it. Also, all our services, together with your data, are hosted by Amazon Web Services and protected by Cloudflare DNS, which guarantees the highest quality service and a quick and reliable access. Finally, our solution is extremely efficient, saving you costly man-hours. Our mobile-friendly console allows resort personnel to add data directly from the slopes, saving time and money. Our data update scheduling means personnel no longer have to wait around just to update communication channels at a given time. And with all of your data available in one single platform, you can manage all your communication channels, avoiding the need to enter the same data multiple times. That it means saving time. This saves you money and improves data integrity, which means less mistakes and better informed customers. This is what it's all about. Going the extra mile, as you see in this picture, to ensure that the digital customer experience at your destination is on par with the physical customer experience, because both of these directly affect customer happiness and satisfaction. Okay, so that's the end of today's webinar. Now I'd like to open the floor to you guys if you have any questions.
Okay, so first question. How long would it take to get the data communication platform set up in my resort?
That depends on the size of the resort, but a medium-sized resort, we can make it happen between 2 to 4 weeks. That depends a lot on the data and the information that we put in, whether it's just lift trails or we put as well all the point of interest like restaurants, parking. So that depends, but in a 4 weeks time, you can have it running.
Okay, second question. What's the pricing structure?
So in SPOTLIO, all our services are always based in setup fee and subscription fee. The setup is something that you pay at the beginning, and we start to customize the project for you. So the setup fee is $4,000 for this for the data communication platform, and the subscription fee is $4,000 for the yearly fee.
Okay, so third question: do you help train staff to use the system?
Yes, in both phases, in the setup phase and the subscription phase, we have training sessions that our project management team is taking care to organize the training sessions at the different levels that your organization needs.
Okay, fourth question. Once the data is in the platform, is it secure?
Yes, as we mentioned, we try to use the highest standards. As you know, we are working with one of the biggest names in the industry. So we are PCI certified. We follow up all the procedures. So your data is secure in the Amazon Web Services.
Okay, so one last question. What does your system do better than my current system from Feratel?
The difference, I mean, if we need to go in, if we want, we can go for a matrix and a one-to-one functionality. But basically, first is a new system. This is a 2 years old with a completely new stack, completely new technology. As far as I know, Feratel system, it should have 15 years, 18 years, something like that. So first you start with this technology. Second is completely responsive. So you can really access from the mobile device. And we are also going to add an app in order that the guys going to be able even easily to type the information from their devices, helping the whole process to be even more effective.
Okay, we have one last question. With the SPOTLIO platform, can we load data in bulk from our central system?
Yes. I mean, basically, we have already compatibilities with some of the standards, as some of the other standards. So we are compatible with Intermap systems. We are compatible with LumiPlan systems. We are compatible with Resource Interactive systems. So we are open to integrate third-party data in our data communication platform.
Okay, so that's all for now.
Thanks. So thank you very much. I mean, as you know, whenever you have more questions, you can send an email, you can contact us. We are more than happy. So once the questions are answered, if you have further questions, I could go more into details. If you have any more, then please feel free to write them down and send me an email, and we get back to you with a reply ASAP. That's the end of today's webinar. Thank you all so much for coming and giving up your time. I hope it wasn't too long. I really think it was too long. If any of you are interested in our data communication platform, just get in touch via email or just give us a call. Our contact details are on our website, SPOTLIO.com. And as well, remember that we have all our webinars already in SPOTLIO.com/academy. Remember that we record all our webinars. If you miss anything today or want to take another look at anything we've gone through, just go to the link shown on your screen, SPOTLIO.com/academy. We also put recordings of every webinar with subtitles in German and French to help those of you who are not native English speakers. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you in our next webinar. Thank you very much for your time.